What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Let's get into it, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. We're sitting at $518 right now, firmly resting our beautiful scaly heads above that $500 price target. Love to see it, right? We are flirting with this area here of resistance and looking like we want to break past it. We literally reached for $600, and I think this is more of a foreshadowing than it is a rejection, right? I don't think normally you see these big wicks, you would think that that means a reversal, but just like this time here, it was kind of a foreshadowing of the good fortunes to come, right? What was once wicked, now we're actually chilling in these areas. I would assume the same thing with higher prices to come. You guys, by the end of this month, we're going to be above 600 bucks. We're above 600 bucks. There's a whole list of bullish things that come on. I mean, we're going to have a poo-poo platter, a charcuterie board of bullish cheddar all over the place, man. It's going to be great. $519 right now. High to low here. Let's see. 382 support. Next target area based off of this fib would be $907 to $1,216. If we look at this, I don't know why my voice just made that like weird noise, but if we look at this trend line here and take into consideration that with a move like this, we'd be breaking out of this trend line, I would assume, and I could be wrong, but I would assume we might see something more bullish. We might see some follow through with this move. Normally, you would expect to find resistance at the golden ratio, but maybe we see this one of these less common breakthroughs to the 786, 886 area, and that could happen. Maybe we go to the 61869 real quick, consolidate, and then move up. I don't know how it's going to look, but by this fib, that's the next target area. If we take this fib into consideration from the relative high to the relative low, the likely target that we would see, the likely target area would be something between about $1,300 and $1,900. Tying that up with this fib here from a high to a low, that $1,900 and $1,700 range does come into that 786, 886 area, coming in line with this prior cycle high and this high over here from the cycle before as well, previous areas of resistance. So that makes sense in my opinion. Some of you might be wondering, why did you jump right to the 1618, 1886, and 200 level? Why did you do that? Why didn't you consider these? That's only because Bitcoin Cash doesn't consider those, right? At least it hasn't this cycle. From a high to a low of this consolidation phase here, it went right up to its 1886, 200 level. It went just above that, actually. If we look at this high to this low of this consolidation phase here, it went just above its 200 level again, that 200 line there. So if we took the same idea, high to low here, that'd be around 1,900 bucks or even above 2,000 technically by the end of this move. Now, is it by the end of this year? That remains to be seen. But certainly by the end of this move, you guys, I think we're gonna have some strong separation from the prices we're at now to where we will be. I have said this before, and I will continue to say it until we know, but I do believe that where we are by the end of this move will really help determine where we're going to be by the end of this cycle, right? If we're at 1,300 at least, okay, I would say 20K is still a likely target, or I should say a possible target we can achieve by the end of the cycle, that 13K to 23K area, right? If we are not even above 1,000 or around 1,000 by the end of this move, it might be less likely that we see 20K. Maybe we see 10 to 13K, stuff like that, right? This is a very important phase because we're coming to the end of this cycle. When it comes to 2025, we probably, in the beginning of 2025 to the end of the cycle, we'll probably have 10 months of bull time to go, right? In that time, we can only grow so much. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin Cash can't do crazy things. It can happen, but likely, and just realistically speaking, the higher up we move now, the less higher up we'll have to move later, the more realistic these higher targets become, right? If our starting point by the end of this move is here versus down here, it makes these targets a lot more acquirable. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, let's finish this video up on a bullish note, right? Let's do this real quick. I want to look at the short-term stuff before we do that. 4 hour looks bullish. 4 hour time frame looks very bullish. Bearish divergence, yeah, but it already played out. Whatever. It could go lower. We could see prices below $500 again. It's possible, but I'm not anticipating that. And if it happens, it's not going to be for long. We are overbought on the daily. That looks nice. bearish divergence. I'm not worried about it at all. I don't think it is bearish divergence. Weekly RSI getting overbought. We have 19 hours, 33 minutes left in this week. If we close this week here in the overbought zone, that would be phenomenal. The last time that we closed our week in the overbought zone here, we actually moved down. So maybe it wouldn't be phenomenal, but we did see a week that moved up 75%. We moved down for 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks later we started moving back up again. So I mean, maybe we do move up above $600 to finish this month, consolidate the first half of December, and then continue to move up. Who knows how it looks, but overall, I do think getting overbought in your weekly RSI is a good thing. After all, we got overbought last time, even though we corrected immediately. That was not the end of the overall move, right? It was actually the halfway point. So if we were to correct anytime soon, that's okay, but I doubt we do. I really do think we're going to press on to prices above $600. Okay, now for the really bullish stuff, the bullish rendition, the classical stuff that we've talked about for the past, I say classic, maybe I should say the common stuff that we've talked about for the past like year and a half, 2 years now, right? From that high to that high there, we make this move up. We're so close to making, we're going to break out of this trend line, out of this consolidation phase, right? There's a handful of cryptos that have broken out of their multi-cycle consolidation phases. I've theorized for a long time that Bitcoin Cash would be one of them, and I think it's about to prove itself. This would be a monumentous occasion because Bitcoin Cash would then break out of this trend line that it's been plagued by for the past 3 cycles now. It would have a chance at breaking above its prior cycle high, and when these things happen, you're going to see people across the space look at Bitcoin Cash differently. They're going to be like, okay, maybe it's not a dead coin. Maybe I would hate it if everybody's like, or maybe it would be good. I don't know. Smooth Operator would probably like it if people were like, oh, it's just a zombie coin. People start calling it a zombie coin, right? As if it's got like no life. It's just undead coming back to life for no reason. No, that's not the case, guys. This thing has plenty of life in it. We all know it. I think in time with this breakout here and a break above this, I think the rest of the market's going to know it too. And not only that, if we look at this from a moving average exponential ribbon perspective, looking at the monthly, we're up at 521 right now. Love to see it. Looking at the monthly ribbon here, if we were to close this month, and we do have 6 days and 20 hours left in this month, if we were to close this month here, you guys, so we close the month, the yellow line would close right here, but then the next month opens, we get a whole nother average boost. The next month we would have this cross. If we ended the month like here or higher, essentially we'd basically have this cross because I do expect we're going to continue moving up in December. So we're fast approaching this bullish cross on the monthly time frame. One of the most bullish events that could happen on any single chart that's ever existed, man. It's again one of those things that'll make people who analyze charts start to take this thing more seriously. The fact that it moved up into the band, found support on it here, moved up into it again, and continued to find support on it. This is really good, right? Last time we found resistance on it, we moved up through it, didn't find support on it. Here we went. We found a little bit of support, right, but not for long, and it went down. We were nowhere near flipping it as much as we are now. Last cycle, the yellow line only broke above the closest line to it. I believe this is the 20, so it only broke above the 25. Yeah. This time, as of right now, we are above. Let's see. You can see it over here, right? The number's 346, 346. It's above all of them except for the 50 and the 55. So, I mean, we're making history. We're in the middle of making history for this, right? Again, this flippening, or I don't want to say flippening. I know that has a different definition for the Bitcoin Cash community. This flipping, this crossing of the monthly ribbon in itself is a very bullish thing that's going to take place. The breakout of this trend line of these highs is going to be a very bullish thing as well. Taking out a prior cycle high, which will probably all happen. You know, this is all going to happen in the same move here. Very bullish thing. And then correlating that as well with the BCH BTC chart, that has done nothing but go down. And I actually have, you can see from my last analysis, you can see it's gone down, it's gone down, it's gone down, and we're rounding out. This is actually a really good look. Some of the healthiest phases or some of the best moves, the best reversals come from this kind of rounding out of a bottom, and then you just see it explode and rip to the upside. We're waiting for higher lows and higher highs. We've never had higher lows and higher highs in Bitcoin Cash's history. Hopefully with this move in BCH, we can start to see that now. So all the normal stuff set aside, you know, Bitcoin Cash is looking very bullish in the short term, expecting some good things. 6 days, 20 hours left. We're at 522. I bet we make another $100 move or more in that time in the next week. So buckle up, you guys. Saddle up your dragons. do not land, do not miss the migration. We are about to head up to higher prices. We're about to break through that 4-digit barrier. Bitcoin's taken out its 6-figure barrier. We're going to take out our 4-digit barrier, and or I should say 4-figure barrier, and then continue from there, man. That's all I got to say. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content. Thank you all for being here. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.